Welcome back to the KWCH Origin Show. Really thrilled to be joined by one of the biggest names in country music over the last 15 years. He's a member of the Grand Ole Opry. He's 7 times #1 on the charts. He's performing here at the Stiefel Theater on January 30th. That's Friday, of course, an American Idol winner as well. Scotty McCreery. Scotty, how's it going?
Hey, good, Jeff. How about yourself?
Doing well over here. You've got a new single out called Bottle Rockets with Hootie and the Blowfish. Tell me how that all came to be, collaborating with those guys and putting that together.
Yeah, well, I love those guys, and I grew up listening to their music, and just through the country music thing, I've become really good friends with Darius, and we were writing songs in the mountains of Carolina, and just kind of randomly went into a Hootie song, and I was like, man, that sounds pretty cool together if we can mesh them together like that, and we wrote it up. I sent it to Darius, and he loved it. The rest of the guys loved it, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I didn't want to give away the secret of the song in case anyone hasn't heard it, but you did mesh up with a Hootie and the Blowfish song. Were they reluctant at all to do that, or did they kind of jump right in?
I thought they might be. I was a little nervous to ask right off the bat, just because that song's got to be one of their babies. But as soon as they heard it, they all loved it. They were fired up.
Where does that kind of rank on your list of collaborations? Because you've done a lot with a lot of different people, but to not only get Darius, but the rest of the group, I have to imagine that's a pretty big coup for you.
Yeah, I mean it's probably my number one collab that I've done. Just the amount of fun that we've had with the song out there, and no matter where you sing it, whether it's my crowd or not, they get excited for the song. So we've been really lucky to have this one.
You got to debut the song at the Grand Ole Opry, which is just amazing. Tell me about that experience back in June, right?
Yeah, yeah, the Opry is a special place. It's my favorite stage in the world, and anytime you get the chance to debut a song there, I think it's a good launching pad. Bottle Rockets we did there, and 5 More Minutes was also a song that we debuted there, and that kind of took us to that song got us started. So I think if you can debut a song in the Grand Ole Opry, you're doing all right. So.
What is it like to debut a song there? Because I imagine there's an audience that probably wants to hear the songs that they grew up on and know, but they're also here to, there to hear you and what you're doing now because you're still, in the prime of your career, basically. So how do you kind of balance those two things?
Yeah, it's always a balancing act, like you said. When you play the opera, you typically get anywhere between two, three, four songs that you play because there's a lot of people playing each night. So people come to the opera, they want to hear the hits, but really they just want to hear some good country music. So I think if you play them a few of your hits and then you get to play them a new song, I think they go away happy.
Tell me about you mentioned a little bit kind of the meshing process with this song, but tell me take me deeper into the songwriting process and how, you said you mentioned you listened to Hootie growing up. So why did this kind of enter your brain?
Yeah, I was in the mountains of North Carolina. We were on a writing retreat with all my favorite songwriting buddies in Nashville, and um, I think there was like 6 inches of snow on the ground. We were dreaming of warmer times and summertime, and so those were the songs we were starting to write. We were kind of writing for a summertime project, and um, I think there was a line going into like, picking up a guitar and playing a song. We were trying to figure out what song would that be, and I told him that I grew up listening to Hootie, and my producer Frank, who I also write with, kind of went in to hold my hand, and as soon as he did that, the whole room kind of stopped, and we were like, "Well, that seems to really flow nicely." So that's how it came to be, and we went from that chorus and wrote the rest of the song around that.
There's a few things that, a random guy out here in Wichita, just straight up, what is it like to fill in the blank? And for you, I'd have to ask, what is it like to be #1 on the charts? That's an amazing accomplishment. Not many people get to do that. So what does that feel like? And now that you've done it 7 times, what does it continue to feel like?
Yeah, each time is special, and you write a song, you want people to hear it. It's important to you. You love the song, it came from the heart. But the fact that other people hear it and love it, and it means something to them, that's gold. I mean, that's what really makes it all worthwhile. So, um, yeah, I mean, seeing it just rise, it's typically a slow rise on the chart, and you're not sure if you're going to get there or not. But if it rings that bell, it's an exciting day. Everybody's celebrating and texting congratulations and probably popping some champagne, and because it's a lot of work and it takes a village. It's my name's on it, but there's a whole slew of people in Nashville and around the country really that are helping me get there.
Yeah, I've always been a country music fan, but the Ken Burns series 5 or so years ago, or whenever that was, kind of got me interested in the history of country music. And I went to Nashville a few years ago. I got to see the Opry, and you're a member of the Grand Ole Opry, and that happened for you at late 20s, early 30s. You obviously have a lot of career left, but is there a sense of where do I go from here? What do I do next? How can I top being a member of the Grand Ole Opry?
I mean, yes, I used to always tell people, they'd say, "What is your biggest goal in your career?" And I'd tell them to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry one day. So to be there now and be a part of that family is still surreal, and but it's such an honor. And every time I step foot on that stage, I revere it. I treat it with respect, and just love those opportunities. But yeah, I mean, you always want to grow and go from here. But being a member of the Opry is pretty towards the top of my list.
And you got invited by Garth Brooks. One of the people who inducted you, along with Josh Turner, was Randy Travis. It doesn't get much bigger than that in country music, does it?
No, that's if you're gonna say there's three guys that can do it, those would be my three. So pretty special.
How do you feel like you've matured as a performer, as a songwriter, as a musician over the last 15 years or so?
Yeah, I think just not being afraid to be you, you know. I think early on as a songwriter, you're kind of nervous and what should I say, what shouldn't I say, and what's radio playing, you know, you're trying to write a song that'll get played. And I think as you grow older, you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna write songs that I love and write songs that I believe in, and hopefully people like them. And if not, you know, it's all good, but at least you know that you're authentic when you're doing it. So uh, I think just not being afraid of being authentic is where the maturation is that I see.
This is going to be a question where you're going to say, I'm not really looking ahead, but I think about this stuff a lot. Like, for example, with like Taylor Swift, who started at a young age, like you did, is she going to still be making albums when she's 50? And what's that going to be like? That question kind of applies to you. Do you at all think about what kind of musician you'll be when you're not so young?
Yeah, I think music will always be a part of my life. You know, I'm hoping to write songs the rest of my life and pick up a guitar and sing songs, and hopefully a crowd wants to come see me play on down the road. There will for sure be a time where I slow down on the road. You know, the touring part of it. Um, that might not be all that far away, but as far as the music aspect of it, making music is as long as my fingers can play and my voice will sing, I'll be doing that.
Yeah, you got the performance coming up, as I mentioned here, close by in Salina at the Stiefel Theater on January 30th. What can fans expect from your live performance?
Yeah, I love to tell stories. You know, that's why I like to write songs. So we're gonna have a high energy show. There's gonna be lights and all sorts of stuff. Maybe a video wall. I mean, we'll make it a great looking show. But my favorite parts of the show are when the music stops and I can sit there and talk to the crowd, tell them the stories behind the songs, and we'll have a few moments like that where it's a nice intimate setting for us. So. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a show for everybody, family show, so the kids can come and enjoy themselves, and should be a great night.
That's a big part of country music performances, isn't it? The storytelling aspect and letting the audience in kind of on where those songs come from.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's the whole thing. You know, people hear the songs, they're like, "Oh, where'd that come from?" or "What's he talking about there?" And so it kind of gives the audience a peek behind the curtain when you do that.
Was there a concert that you attended as a younger person that kind of struck you? Maybe not that you model your own performances after, but was there one that kind of stuck in your brain and your heart and your soul a little bit?
Yeah, there were a few. One that really stuck with me. I got to see Ronnie Millsap in concert at Johnston Community College, and he kind of told a lot of stories. And I think that's where my love for giving that insight came from. And then another one that I loved and we still talk about was I got to see Jamie Johnson when I was a kid at the North Carolina State Fair. And that was I loved his music. I mean, In Color is one of the great country songs of all time, and he's one of the great country songwriters of all time. So um, yeah, that was a big concert for me, and I was watching that show, being like, man, I'd love to do that one day. You know, love to play those songs and tell those stories.
My band is the Eagles. Have you ever seen the Eagles? And what's kind of the impression of them within country music? I know they're a little bit country, a little bit rock. Does country music kind of accept them as one of us in a way?
As far as I can tell, everybody in Nashville loves the Eagles,
That's
and
good to hear.
yeah. I know Vince Gill. That's he's an Eagle now, so that's pretty cool. But no, it's everybody loves the Eagles. We've played the Eagles. Take it easy in our show. I mean, it's they're they're huge.
You're a Patriots fan. They've got the AFC Championship game coming up this weekend. How do you like their chances? You got a backup quarterback in Denver, but you're probably feeling a little cocky about it, aren't you?
I'm not. You know, I'm on the other end of things where I think it's going to be much closer than people are giving the Broncos credit for. They got a great defense, and I mean, one thing they got going for them, there's no game tape on Stidham, so yeah, who knows what they're really prepared for. So the Broncos are number one for a reason this year, so it'll be a tough test.
How'd you become a fan of those Northeastern teams growing up in North Carolina, the Red Sox and the Patriots?
Yeah, my dad's from up there. So my dad's from New Hampshire and Maine, so the New England area, and he would go to Red Sox games and grew up a Pats fan. So he instilled that in me at a young age.
Yeah, tell me about your life now. Just you got a couple youngsters running around. What's it like chasing after them?
Yeah, chasing after them, that's a great way to put it. That's pretty much what we're doing nowadays. But man, it's great. Both kids are fantastic, and we're so lucky and blessed to have them. And my wife's just amazing wife, number one. She's an incredible mother. She just amazes me every day. All the plates she's got going at once, balancing so many things, and she just crushes it every day. So it can be a little chaotic at times, especially with the tour schedule thrown in on top of everything. But no, we're really really blessed.
So what's next for you as far as your career goes? You're going to be on the road for a while. Is there something planned after that? Do you have new music in store?
Yeah, I was just up in the mountains on a writing retreat just last week. So we're writing songs. We're going to get in the studio here pretty soon. Start laying down some new tracks and hopefully have new music out this year at some point. So that's what we're getting our show together. We're getting everything lined up for the shows, but the record and the music is kind of at the top of everybody's mind right now.
How different is it now when, maybe not everybody expects you to put out a 12 song album, but probably everybody expects you to put out a song here and there. So how do you kind of deal with that as a veteran of the industry?
Yeah, a lot of things change. I've seen the way music goes out and the industry change, over and over, and I've only been doing it 15 years. So um, I pretty much stick to what I know, stick to what I love. I still am an album guy. I write records and I like it to tell a whole story from the top to bottom and everything gel together nicely. So it might be a little old school. I think some would just say that about me in general. So um, maybe I should get better about just putting out a song here, a song there, because that tends to be kind of what's going on nowadays. But I just still love to make a full album. That's just me.
Well, Scotty, I really appreciate the time this morning. Safe travels as you come here to Salina, Kansas, and we'll all be looking out for the new music coming up this year.
Hey, well, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me chat, and we're looking forward to getting to Kansas here soon.
Thanks a lot.